So, hello guys and welcome to the first lesson from chapter 2, framing, composition and so on. So, we will create something like that. It's pretty simple. But also we will go over framing, composition and over some camera stuff. So, framing, focal length, depth of field, stuff like that. So, first of all, we want to create these simple spheres here and the background. And I think let's get started. So let's minimize that and let's get geometry, black, round, and let's call this spheres. Simple. Let's dive inside. Let's first create the other networks quickly. Let's get a shop. Let's get a rob. RS mat and art. And for now, let's get a really simple camera. And let's get a RS dome light. Let's get here a simple dome light map. Pro metal. So, cool. Let's color this in yellow and let's call it RS dome light. Something like that. And now, let's get started. So, let's dive inside and we need some random spheres. How are we gonna do that? Pretty simple. Let's get a sphere started here. Let's get scatter. Let's make this for now, let's make it dark. So the points are a little bit more visible here. And let's disable the fourth tonal count, let's just get the density here. So let's get a copy the points. Pretty simple. Let's get a target points and let's get another sphere here. So we will get something like this. Let's go to polygon, let's dial up the frequency a little bit. Let's get here a little bit more spheres. That will be 15, that's alright. Let's get an attribute randomize. And let's call it rand scale. So pretty simple with a node. Let's get p scale. And let's get another one. And let's call it rand CD for CD, so color. Let's connect this, let's connect this. Let's get into the random scale. Let's go to the custom ramp here. Let's dial this a little bit up, so 0.1, 0.25, something like that. And let's go to the seed, let's play with the seed here, and let's go down with the overall scale. 0.5, 0.75, 0.5. Something like that. And let's play with the seed a little bit. And let's make here an ISO offset. So we will get sorry guys. So we will get a volume here. So let's get a volume here. Let's get a density a little bit higher. Something like that. And let's now get the P scale a little bit higher. Let's delete this one. So just play with the values a little bit. So I've got something like this. Let's go here with a null node. Let's call it out. Let's get a mat for material. Oh, not mat axis. Get a material. Call it mat out. and dive up. Now Redshift will provide you some, where is it? Oh, Redshift provide you with some attribute workflow, and it's currently on, so enable automatic attribute extraction, that's on. That's because we set up the CD, so we can get the CD into Redshift, into the shading network, and play with this. So let's create a shader here, Redshift network, let's call it RSMat and spheres. Let's dive inside, let's get a simple material. Let's make it let's get a bump map. Just for now, let's get into the camera. And now you can play around. So, for example, when you place it right down here, you will create something like rule of thirds. So you are in the rule of thirds ratio, so in the crossing point right down here. But for now I will go with the central perspective, so something like here. Let's get the light started, it's on. Let's get into the RSMat and let's get a simple max on noise here. Max on noise. Let's get the Redshift running, render view. And we'll get something like this. So let's get a simple bump map here. I forgot to get a material, so Shift W. Let's get the RSMat spheres. Yes. Let's get a pretty simple noise. Let's go with the Luca noise. Let's make it really big, something like that. And let's get this into the bump map, so we will get a little bit of breakup. 0.005 should be fine. Let's refresh it. Yes, that's alright for now. Let's make it a little bit higher, so 0.01. Yeah, that's cool. Let's connect this. So now let's create the simple backdrop. So backdrop is just a simple background. When you make, for example, when you make portrait shootings, you will got a backdrop behind your model, and it's usually black or white or something with a texture, and we will get this here into 3D space. So let's make a simple backdrop, let's call it BG for background, and let's get a box here. So you can use anything as a background. So I use this box because it's pretty simple and you can play around with it. So let's go into blast and let's blast this 3 sides away. There we go. Let's get a null here. Null. Let's call it out BG and let's make a material. Let's call it RSMat BG. Let's go into the shading. Let's create a new Redshift network here. Let's get RSMat background. Let's dive inside and let's get a pretty simple material here. Nothing special. Let's get a reddish color. Something like that. and let's get a pretty high roughness, so 0.85. Let's dive up, let's connect it, the RSmat PG with the background here, and we are finished with the background. It's way too small, so let's go into transform, let's go here, show all objects, let's hit enter, and let's first scale it a little bit up, something like that. That's alright. Let's look through the camera, and let's get something like this here. Let's hit quick the render button, and you will get something like this. So that's not special at all for now, but in the next lesson we will go then over shading and so on and so on. But first of all, we will go over different ratios. So camera framing ratios. So I will see you in the next lesson.